Julia read the email from the 16 unnamed people to the 5 named people aloud to us from his phone in a flat, calm computer voice. And we all made various sounds of sadness. And then I asked him to reread it in a more animated voice, and this lightened the mood a little, especially when he got to the part where someone complained about the perks of the conference being airplane tickets, airplane tickets, airplane tickets. This fight was not about us. We were not at the international conference. I myself was so out of it, I did not really even know that a conference was happening, much less an international one that had paid for the airplane tickets of a few of us, but not all of us, to attend. But still, that the fight was so near us made us feel besieged. All of the 5 named people had been part of the early meetings about the summer camp, and many of the unnamed people had too. And we had just left the summer camp planning meeting in the name of group solidarity with the room. And once again, we had to confront that the room was not a room. And while we were still confident we had to leave the summer camp planning meeting, the letter also made our reasons for leaving absurd. After this, we sat there in silence. Julia continued scrolling through his feeds. The rain started up again, and I looked at it rather than at my feeds. I knew the feeds were usually nothing but bad news, while the hills to my left were nothing but good news. They had wisps of fog that would gather in various valleys, and it was a certain form of beautiful. As I looked at the hills, I thought about the underside of ferns, their haploid spores that grew into free-living haploid gametophytes, that then produced gametes that grew into a diploid zygote, only to next turn into a diploid sporophyte. Julia, though, was unable to stop cultivating the besieged feeling. He even said at that moment, "Let's go all in for it." And he got on his phone and began to read through the various Twitter feeds of those who often tweeted about us in complaint. 2 of us were poets, and poets prefer the Twitter feed rather than the anonymous group letter sent via email. The team in the Chicano Social Center were against the social media call-out. I mean, they did it at moments too, but they also recognized social media as a complicated tool, one often monitored by the state.